What's up, guys? Welcome back into the channel. I am Matt, as always. As you can see, I have a little sun problems here. Very sunny. Don't have any shades on the window there, so we're going to have to deal with this till the sun goes down shortly. But want to dive into the topic that's gained the most traction in golf over the last couple of days, and that is the rolling back of the golf ball. So it's the 15th today. They did announce this, I think, 2 days ago on the 13th. So getting into my thoughts on it, overall, I think it's what they're doing without getting crazy in depth with it and talking about spin factor and ball club speed, whatever. Basically, what it comes down to is they're rolling back the ball 15 to 17 yards. So pro players or anybody that plays this ball cannot hit it further, essentially. All right. So if John Rahm's max drive was 340. He's going to hit it like 325 now. Yeah, that's 15 yards. Makes sense. Okay, checks out. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at there. So it's not a huge difference in my opinion. And what the USGA and RNA said is that this is going to give us about 15 years that we're going to maintain distance, and it's going to stay basically at the point that we had it from around 2010 to about now. So I think that's good. It addresses it right now. It doesn't kind of just kick the can down the road and let these other potential problems that I'll talk about become more of a problem. So when you look at it, it's really only affecting professionals, and okay, it's going to affect like elite amateurs too, but they do have 3 years to figure this out. So essentially, this wouldn't take hold or take effect. It's a modified local rule, I believe, an MLR. I think, if I'm wrong, whatever. I don't think I am. But it's a rule that would get enforced at, currently, obviously, the USGA, who runs the US Open, RNA runs the British Open, or the Open, sorry. It would get enforced there. Now you're still going to need like the PGA Tour, the PGA of America, and the Masters to agree to it. I'm sure the Masters will. I think it'd be a little more suspect with PGA Tour and PGA of America. We'll see. They have 5 months to have any kind of discussion period, challenge period, stuff like that, and then it's going to get voted on, I believe, in August. But yeah, so they have 3 overall. It's going to affect pros in 2026. But what we don't have figured out yet, because these officials haven't talked to them yet, is what's going to happen with the elite AMs, college players, stuff like that, or elite amateur events. And like I said, 3 years to figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. When you back off to the 99% of the population, so you, me, I'm a 9.7 handicap. What really do we have to complain about this? It doesn't really affect things unless you're one of the people, which I totally get. I kind of am that person too, that wants to play the same stuff as the pros, want to play the same ball that Justin Thomas plays. He plays Pro V1X, so do I. That's cool. But sure, we play the same ball, but everything else that happens on the golf course, totally different. All of his numbers, all of his shots, where they play from, where they play to, it's totally different. It might as well be a different sport at that point. Like, it's just totally, the way that the ball comes off their club, it's just a different game when they hit it versus when I hit it or when you hit it. So what do we really have to complain about? There's, for the general amateur, there should be no gripe. You can still play your Pro V1Xs. And I'm sure most amateurs will not care at all about this. They probably won't even know what happens. But for people watching this video, like myself, you'll know about it. And if you really want to play those balls for fun and play worse, hit it less far, you absolutely can. I'm sure there will be a couple dozen balls in stores or in clubhouses that you can buy and have a worse time on the golf course. So if it's a problem, there's your problem. As far as the environment, that's always an impact too. We've had a push of longer and longer golf courses over the years because these players can hit it further and further and further because the balls spin to a almost perfect point that they need them to maximize distance and the launch, and the clubs play right along with that with the drivers. So we've had to improve distances, or we have improved distances of the players' bodies getting stronger and working speed training too. So to compensate, there's been more of a push for longer golf courses too. So the USGA talks about these 8,000 yard courses, which I think is a little overblown. There's not really that many. But I think what this will do is kind of stop courses in their tracks that are thinking about building such big courses and be like, hey, maybe we don't need to do this because people aren't going to be hitting it that far, and a lot of these courses are playing more towards amateurs anyway. There's only a select few courses. There's like 30,000 golf courses, and there's only a select few that are playing 2 pros. So it'll probably stop these courses in their tracks from thinking, hey, I need to build an 8,000 yard course, even though I'm probably not going to get a pro event. And even if I do get a pro event, I don't have to worry about it being null or nullified because the pros are going to hit it past all the challenges I have. So that's one solid thing there. Less course maintenance is needed. You don't have to build out another 100 yards to walk all the way back to a tee, just to walk all the way back forward. Just total waste of space. So let's try and do one thing to help make the world a little bit of a better place. All right, and then from a physio standpoint, speed and power isn't going to stop. So speed and power is getting trained in younger and younger athletes, and it's been shown to be safe to do so. So if you're not going to stop that, if you're not going to look at the club right now, which they chose not to, you got to do something. Otherwise, you can't stop everything else I already talked about. So it's got to be the ball. All right. You can't just let the game grow exponentially. And even though it isn't a great spot now, and people will say, hey, golf's in the best spot it's been in potentially ever at the amateur level, why would you just stop this momentum? And at some point, you got to do something. You can't just kick the can down the road just because you're doing well right now. That's probably a word of warning to most companies that just did their thing because things are going well, and then you kind of get screwed down the road when somebody else comes along and messes up how you're rolling and messes up your bottom line because you didn't change when you needed to, and you kind of just sat back, rest on your laurels, and got screwed in the end. So it's good that they're taking a step right now. This, like I said, this in theory gives the game of golf 15 years, about 15 years, that we're going to be right from around 2010 distances to around where we are right now. And this isn't going to go in effect until 2026. R&D, so research and development, isn't just going to stop. These companies aren't just going to try to make as much money as they can. As a physio, from my standpoint, I'm not going to just stop training people. I'm going to try and make them stronger and stronger, hit the ball further and further. So, yeah, I think this is a good step. It kind of puts golf at a pause point right now from the distance game. And hopefully it's a good step. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some unforeseen circumstances there, that's an unforeseen fallout. But there always is with any big decisions. But I think it's good they actually made a decision instead of just doing nothing like they've done for the last 20 years as distance has grown exponentially. I think something interesting is that with pros not really playing these performance balls, you look at what companies have been doing recently. So you look at Titleist with no laying up, you look at Callaway with Good, you look at TaylorMade with Barstool. I think it's going to be even more of an opportunity for influencers to promote these golf brands, because tour players aren't going to be promoting balls anymore. Granted, they can still do the clubs, but there's even more of a reason to have your ball out there and see these YouTube videos of these influencer amateurs playing and utilizing Pro V1s or TP5s or whatever else. Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting. It's going to be a different golf landscape. And then one just stupid, dumb point. Good old Bryson DeChambeau. Basically, what he said I think it was Golf Digest, talking about he thought it was really just stupid and totally pointless, and he said it shouldn't be about rolling the ball back. It should be about making courses harder. But, dude, like, that's the entire point of doing this, is to make courses harder. Like, the reason they're not hard is because you can blow it over whatever you need to blow it over and take design challenges from, I don't know, whenever these courses were built and just totally nullify them. So doing this is doing exactly what you say needs to be done there, Bryson. I know you're probably not thinking clearly on your protein shakes these days. You haven't had them in a while. You're slimming down because you were wrong about bulking up. But, God, I don't like that guy. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm rocking Puma. It's fine because he's not with Puma and Cobra anymore. So, yeah, just don't like that guy. Dumb point, Bryson. You suck. And, yeah, they're professional golfers, but they don't really know the ins and outs of what's going on. Neither do I. But that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't like Bryson, and that's where my rolling back the ball points will take it for today. All right, so that's about it. Keep following the channel. Check along for any kind of golf-related content. I have some different stuff I'm planning on coming out once the majors start. Different graphics. Planning on doing once the Masters comes around. Starting to do a weekly show. And just keep ramping up the golf thing. It's tough running a full-time job that is like golf adjacent, so I can do some golf stuff, but it's not all golf, while trying to do all golf on the side. So we'll keep on ramping it up. Not as fast as I'd like, but I'll keep on doing it. And stick around, subscribe, and follow to join the ride. All right? Reach out with anything you guys need, especially if you need to get moving for the golf season. And I'll see you next time. Peace.